Okay, so we're joined here by Heidi. Nice to meet you, and welcome to SoccerX. So yeah, please tell us a little bit about you and about what you're doing here at SoccerX.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here talking to you. And thanks for having us over here talking to all of you guys as well. My name is Heidi Kivimaa. I'm the CEO and co founder of Northern Sports Inside Intelligence. And we're a startup from Finland who has developed Act Head Impact Tracker, which is a technology wearable tech with which you can measure and track impacts and forces acting on a head. And why is that important? Is what these impacts and forces acting on a head, what they can cause and contribute to. And this is universal, so it applies to any sport as much as soccer or football. Traumatic brain injuries such as concussion, and second impact syndrome, which is a concussion. If you don't have a protocol to follow, that you are actually recovered from your previous, so you get a concussion while you still have a concussion. And then we also have accumulative effects, which means that like there is a exposure that you get, and then in 10, 20, even 30 years from now on, you might get degenerative brain diseases or neurodegenerative disorders. And obviously, when we talk about brain, our operating system, impaired performance is always present when your brain is not functioning fully.
Yeah, 100%. We spoke earlier on about how we can track injuries with your hamstring or on the body, but the brain's extremely important, obviously. So I'm intrigued to know what made you start the company and sort of your journey into doing what you're doing now.
Thanks for asking that. Yeah. Well, I have some athletic background myself. I guess pretty much everyone around here does when you still keep on doing that, in your old days. But this is really our neurologist, so advisor there, who told us that this is what we need to know and understand so that we can start, measuring and acting on the brain load. So our big objective really from the very first day was to bring visible something which currently is invisible, and not only make it visible but make it objectively measured so that it's tangible and actionable. And that's exactly what we started doing. And we've been developing this product, testing it, validating it through and through in a lot of sports. And now it's time to come out and try to make this positive impact on the athlete safety, and also their health and well-being in short, medium, and long term. This really is, what we want to do, and this is why I jumped in, and started doing this because it's just something which has to be done.
Yeah, very important. So it would be good if we can talk about the devices we have here and sort of how they work, and yeah, if you could talk us through sort of these, please.
Sure. Thank you. So Acted Impact Tracker has a sensor here, and I have brought with me a few of these accessories with which you can use in football or soccer, for example, to attach it on the head. And that sensor is needed so that we can measure the head movement, which is causing your brain inside your skull to move and potentially get damaged by squeezing or twisting and scratching inside the skull. And that is why you have to attach it on a head. Then you have an application to which the sensor is sending the information, and then we make a lot of calculations in the cloud, and then you get a little information or a lot of information depending on what you want. So basically there is a lot of academic research is made utilizing our product, but just equally, parents concerned about their children riding a horse, or some teams recreational use level in a lot of different sports, who are then following up what's happening right now out there on the pitches and what is the load to the brain, and try to manage that. Because if we don't know the load, there is no way that we can try to decrease that load to the brain.
Okay, so like you said, this can be individuals can gain access to this, but also clubs or organizations as well.
Yeah. Absolutely. So we tried to make this as universal and versatile as possible, and I think we did a pretty good job. So individual athletes, individual sports, and team sports, teams of athletes, you can follow the clubs, whatever is the setup that you need to have that. There is multiple sports where, this application is something for, in the future, this is going to be a norm. Like when we started measuring the heart rates and so many other things, now GPS trackers on every player, but we have to get beyond that performance. We have to understand that there is no performance without the health, and the brain is your most complex organ, and damage in the brain is something that the doctors can't really help you. There is no medication you can take to fix it, and there is no treatment as such which you could turn back the time. So usually the first comment that I get from the athletes who've been impacted are like, I wish I knew. I wish things didn't go this way, because then, what will come out? What will be the outcome if you're going to get, better, or what's going to be left? That's it. Like there is nothing nobody can do. And that is specific to the brain. And that is exactly why we have to start doing this. It's not just a nice thing to do, it is a must thing to do. Thank you.
So just to finish up then, so for clubs, for athletes, how can they find you online on social media? How can they get in touch?
Just put in a Google, for example, ACT Head Impact Tracker. Look me up, Heidi Kivimaa in LinkedIn. Or we're in social media. We got our website, we got our web store, whatever it is. We're here for you. That's our sole purpose of being here. So please reach out. We would love to hear from you.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you.